Looking here at some Champions League matches, and I'm just going to show you some simple scalping. Very, very simple to do, and what we're going to do is look for a quick tick out of some of these markets. And there's obviously risk in this, because if you're performing a scalp, you could find that the position goes against you if a goal is scored, which obviously wouldn't be ideal. But I'll demonstrate this anyway, but it's down to you to manage when you do this and the risk involved. You may also, if you think about it, if you use a Soccer Mystic price predictor to have a look at the market, not only will you be able to identify which markets where the time decay is strongest, i.e. where you can get a scalp in the quickest, which reduces your risk, but you'll also be able to look at secondary markets that you can hedge on. So bear that in mind, put a bit of science into it. So if I go into a match, we'll go into the, let's have a look and see if we can find a match which has got some decent activity and liquidity on it. We'll have a look here. Interesting, if you look at this market, this is Manchester United v Valencia, and Valencia are 1-0 up at the moment, so you can see the scoreline here, 0-1 to Valencia. We'll have a quick look at the chart for you. You can see here, as the match progressed, you can see the goal that came in here, and then as the game is going on, you can see the price coming in a little bit here. Sometimes situations occur in the market, you can look at these using the price predictor that you see up here, that may seem slightly unintuitive to you. But if we look at 1-all within this market, you can see the price on this is pretty stable and coming in as well. So you can put a bit of logic into this. We've reversed the book here. This is how the book looks on Betfair, but if I use the reverse function, you can see that we're going to be backing at the current lay price and laying at the current back price. I'm going to set both back and lay stakes to £50 each. Now I could scalp 0-1 because that's the direction that the score is heading in, but you would assume that Man United will want to get back into this match. So what I'm actually going to do is scalp 1-all. I'm going to do that by reversing the book, which means I'm going to offer money up at 3.95 and get it taken at 3.9. A little bit late there, you can see already somebody's put some money there, but we'll give it a try. To do this, I'm going to use the drop down menu here. I'm going to do offset bet with greening. The reason that I'm going to use with greening is that it will automatically green up everything when the other bet gets matched. Fill or kill order for 60 seconds. It's going to hold the order in the market for 60 seconds. So if we go into this market, we could put a trade on here, but what we're going to do is going to pop one in the market. Let me just wait for 3.90 to come back up. I'm going to pop one in at 3.90. See if we can get filled at 3.90, because somebody's taken some of that money. Bit of an issue here in that there's a fair bit of money at 3.85, but you can see that we've been matched fairly quickly actually at 3.90. BetAngel has put the corresponding other bet back in at 3.85, and you can see it's put in 50.65 despite the fact that we were using a stake of £50. The reason for this is that 65p is going to represent the green value, so we just need to sit here and wait for somebody to take this at 3.85. Now if we wanted to, we could scalp by backing 1-0 to Valencia, but if there's a goal that's going to be scored, you would suspect, obviously it's better if you watch the match and go into a little bit more detail into it, but you would suspect that Man United could come back into this match at some point, which is why the price on 1-all is going to be fairly stable for a while. Of course, if we backed 0-1 and Man United scored, then that would be our bet over. We would lose money. So sometimes it pays to think counterintuitively. Now we've done this on the one-click screen because it's easy to do so because we're using the global settings. Perfectly possible to do it on the ladder, but of course you need to select the scoreline, which should be 1-0. Let me just pull this up. And we can pop our order in on the other side here. If I adjust these to £50 each, I'm going to say use global settings, because if I tick use global settings, it brings into play all of these functions up here. And I'll tell you what I'll do, I'm going to back at 3.95 It takes a few seconds for the order to come in because of the in-play delay. You can see that taking place over here. And I put an order back in at 385, and that order will appear in the market. If you're using a multi-screen monitor, what you may want to do is undock the match bets, put them on another one, or you can redock them at the bottom. So a tiny amount of money has been matched at 385. We just need somebody else to take an interest in this price here. And then what will happen is BetAngel will take that corresponding lay order, put it in the market at 380 and close our position out for us. So scalping is a very simple way to make money on the market. You can see in the time that we've been looking at this, the price on nil 1 is coming in even further, and that is because the chance of the match ending 1-0 to Valencia is increasing. You can see that on the implied percentage chance here, and it looks like we've been matched a tiny amount. There we go. We're just waiting for the corresponding bet to come in at 380. You can see all of that's been matched, so we've managed to put a few trades on there. If I go to match bets, you'll be able to see the trades that we've done. We basically backed at 390 with an average stake of 54 and gone back in at 385 with an average stake of 55.46. What actually happened there was, because we didn't get filled on certain orders, it's been cancelled, and fill or killers cancelled off the remainder of the bet, and it's offset the amount that we did get matched. So, you know, we're free to try again here. Fairly unexciting, dull, but relatively safe way of scalping the market. Has been a goal in the Spurs match. So there you go. Very simple process of scalping. Now the risk that you have in these sort of markets is that a goal goes in, but you can see here we've used a bit of logic to move ourselves away from where the main part of that risk is. So you can see I've done a trade in this market already, and basically what we're taking advantage of here is the fact that as the match started, the chance of under 2.5 goals increased, which is you would expect. A goal's gone in, and now the chance of under 2.5 goals is increasing again because there's been a lack of goals in this particular market. They're in an attacking phase at the moment, so the likelihood is, there we go, just waiting for a more suitable entry point into the market. So I'm going to go in here, see if we can get an order filled speculatively on the other side. We've backed at 172. We're waiting for somebody to take the money on this side. If there's an attacking phase now, you would expect people to lay under 2.5 goals. That bet's been matched, so BetAngel will now put the other bet back in on the other side. So we're waiting to get filled at 171 with greening. Uses a stake of £50.29. We just need the price to come in a little bit, and then that order gets filled. So you can see there, very, very simple method of scalping. The reason that we're reversing the book is so that we don't have to put ourselves in the front here and wait longer for this second bet to get matched. By reversing the book, we're offering a price to the market, waiting for somebody to take it, and as soon as that counter bet goes into the market, then it will get filled much quicker. So that's the reason we're reversing the book. But scalping is a very simple and straightforward strategy. The issue that you have is obviously trying to do it at a time when a goal is less likely, because if a goal goes in, that will radically change what happens in the market. But that's why we're doing this on under 2.5 goals, because it gives us an opportunity to still get out at a profit even if there is a goal.